Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to another video, and today we're going to be doing the comparison of all, or pretty much all, of the Batman 89 action figures that are available. And as you can see, I've tried to get almost every single one. Obviously, it might be one or two, but these are the main ones. You've got Neca, Mcfarlane, Peace Kingdom, yeah, most of the known ones. And Batman is obviously my favourite Batman film. And yeah, you know, when it's your favourite figures, I'll try and get most of the versions from that. Yeah, we're going to be doing a comparison of looking at all the stuff like articulation, paint job, detail and all that stuff. So let's go for it. Right, so we're going to do this a bit different to usual comparison videos. Usually if it's between 2-3 figures I would jump back and forth, but because there's 7 figures, you know, we'll be here for ages doing that. So we're going to do them each one by one, and then we're going to decide at the end who's better. Well, I'm going to decide in my opinion, which I think is the best Batman, but you can decide, because you know that's only my opinion. I don't even know at this stage what one, you know, I think. I mean, I think they've all got their own strong points and own weak points. There seem to be a lot of companies that struggle to get the perfect Batman, and stuff's wrong, like Cape's wrong and this was wrong. But yeah, there don't seem to be. But maybe after this we can maybe try and work out a bit closer to what companies made the best Batman. Because I said, yeah, some companies have not got it right just yet, but maybe let's see, because we've had the Neca one just recently. So yeah, so I'm just gonna work it out basically, or try to, and then give my opinion what I think is the best one, and then you can, of course, decide what one you think's best, or maybe you have a particular favourite one. But yeah, as I said, that's so this one is the Mezco 5 points Batman, which is a small Batman, and this was released a short while ago. Come out this year. Obviously, there was a delay on it, and then it finally came out. Now this is sort of like a retro style. It's kind of what they did was took the sort of retro design of the old Batman and sort of redid it into a sort of a fresh, newer, sort of reissued version. But they've kind of copied that retro style and then made it sort of newer. So that was kind of a cool idea doing that. And it had the retro style packaging, which was a really, really good idea. And yeah, I think it's a quite nice, small little Batman, to be honest. You know, because, you know, people say, you know, size of figures and stuff. I don't think it's always about size. You know, this could very well end up being the best Batman. You know, it's not always about size in terms of the figure. You know, a very, very small one could be the best one. But as I said, I don't even know at this stage. But yeah, it's a really, really nice little Batman. And if you have this Batman and don't have any of the others, you know, it's a nice little Batman to have. You know, and it's quite cheap as well. You know, I think I paid maybe £25, £28, but now you could probably get it for a lot cheaper. And I think for the price, it's not too bad. The detail's not too bad on it. The paint job, I think it's a cool little Batman. It's got a nice cape on it. The cowl and the cape looks okay with a paint job on the mouth. Looks pretty nice with the bat symbol. The cape, as I said, looks pretty cool. The definition of the suit with the sort of like 6-pack or 12-pack or whatever pack it's got going on. Then we've got a gold belt there, because some of the Batmans have gold belts, some of the belts have yellow belts. I'm sure in the movie it's pretty sure in the movie, I thought in the movie it was yellow, but I don't know. 'Cause most of these are gold. Yeah, I keep thinking it's yellow, but I'm sure it was yellow in the movie. But a lot of the companies seem to do the belt gold, for example. I think I do prefer yellow actually, to be honest. But yeah, the suit is pretty nice. The black, the black paint job has got quite a little nice little shine to it. You've got the black boots, obviously, and you get a couple of little accessories with it as well. So it's a nice little Batman. And I quite like these 5 point scale figures. They're doing some more of these, and I'd hopefully like to see a lot more of what we've had because they're really nice little figures. As I said, nice little figures, give some nice little accessories, and yeah, this is a nice little Batman, I think, and it looks quite nice in the collection. You know, we've got larger scale figures and smaller scale figures. I think this really is a nice addition to the collection. Yeah, it's a really nice Batman. Moving on to another figure that's quite similar as well, or quite similar in size. It's a bit taller than the other Batman, but this is, I believe, the Mattel Batman universe figure or something, or in the Batman verse or whatever it is. I think it's Mattel. And this is the unmasked version. You can get the one that's got the mask version, but this is the unmasked version. Obviously, we see Bruce Wayne. Obviously, Michael Keaton. And in terms of, it doesn't really look like Michael Keaton. So sort of for the scale, the detail is not there. So you could probably say maybe the one with a mask is better. But I wanted to get the one with the mask off because I think, in terms of having different varieties, it's always nice to have a few figures with the masks off. And this is the one with the mask off. As I said, yeah, it doesn't really look like Michael Keaton, but for the scale, to smaller scale, there's not really much accurate likeness. But as I said, the one with the mask does look better. But yeah, there you go. The suit is quite nice. It's quite a nice definition on the suit. It's a nice paint job. Bat symbol looks okay. We've got the gold belt going on, which looks all right. Oh yeah, the articulation on the other Batman is not great, sort of kind of retro style, but it's a nice Batman. The articulation on this is slightly better. We've got joints in the arms and the legs, so the articulation is slightly better than the other one. But as I said, yeah, this suit is right. And again, like the other Mezco Batman, this is a nice little scale Batman to have. It's small, but it's a nice. It looks nice on in the collection on display. And again, it's not always about size when it comes to the figures. And this is a nice little one to have. And again, it's just a nice thing to have a different Batman with a mask off, as opposed to most of the time being mask on. And yeah, it's a nice little Batman. Moving on, we have got I can't think of what this is. It the Medicom Batman or the I can't actually think of what this one is. But unfortunately, when I got this, I bought it secondhand off eBay. The leg was very, very loose and doesn't stay on, unfortunately. Hence the reason why he's looking a bit. But I've managed to somehow get it on display with one leg, being supported just by one leg and a bit of the cape. Surprisingly, when I did have it on display, the leg kept falling off, but I managed to get it displayed with it. Then I just completely, because I think it fell over a few times. Then I just completely took it out of the collection, and I'm not going to display it with the leg keep falling off. But yeah, if I had realised that, I wouldn't have bought it. But there you go. You win some, you lose some, and you live and learn by your mistakes. If you buy something and it's broken or whatever. But it's, with that being said, This is a nice Batman. Um, despite my one on my leg, the leg coming off, it's quite a nice um, Batman. Uh, the head sculpt, maybe not the head sculpt, maybe not the best one, but the detail is there with the mouth. This is one we can change the mouths in. You can change the mouths out and have like different facial expressions, like but yeah, this might not be maybe not the best head sculpt out of them all, but it's all right. Nice cow, nice bat symbol on it, nice paint job. The cape on it is quite good. It's got some sort of like PVC type material cape, which is quite nice, as opposed to it being sort of like a cloth material. Yeah, it's like a PVC kind of, not real leather, but like a fake PVC type of material. And it's quite a nice cape. You can sort of shape it and curve it around the figure, which is always a good thing. The body is alright, it's got good definition on it. It's a pretty nice paint job. We've got the kind of, again, not sort of gold, but sort of like a, well, it's kind of gold, but it's not. It's sort of like a dark shade of, sort of like a dark goldish yellow, but not shiny gold. That's all right. And again, going back to the legs, mine's only got one. But yeah, the suit is pretty nice. I think the articulation on it is pretty good. The cape's nice, and you get a dozen accessories with this one. So the accessories are really good. Yeah, it's a decent Batman, but unfortunately with my one, the leg just kept falling off, which was a bummer. Next, moving on to the Mcfarlane one. Now, this unfortunately was hoping for to be something really good, and it was let down by the head sculpt, which is, as you can see, it's bigger than the neck. And you see when Batman has his mask and head sculpt, it just goes in line with the cowl and the cape. But on there, you see you've got the head wider than the neck, which is not right. So yeah, it's a shame really, because the actual suit, the body, is not bad actually. The Mcfarlane body is actually all right, but the head sculpt is really bad. I don't know why they did that, because they got the Batman Returns one right. They sort of got this wrong, and then they sort of adjusted it right to the Batman Returns. But yeah, I just don't know what went wrong here. What they were thinking. Yeah, I don't know, because they really did mess up. They messed up the cape as well. The cape is awful on the Mcfarlane one. It's too short. It doesn't sort of curve around the figure like you can do, with the other Batmans that you should be able to do. It's really short. It's a cloth material. But yeah, the main issue being it's just too short. As I said, you can't curve it around the figure. The head sculpt's really bad. I mean, the details for us being, supposed to be Michael Keaton, I don't really think it is either. Although the paint job itself on the mouth is not too bad. But yeah, the head sculpt's wrong. The bat symbol's the bat symbol, to be fair, is quite sharp. I thought they actually did do quite a good job of that. It's not messy or anything like that. It's quite nice, which is one of the things it's got going for it, apart from the head sculpt and cape. Body is all right. It's got a nice definition on it. It's nicely painted. The the belt is shiny, which is okay, but I think it should be yellow. The articulation on this is all right, but maybe not the best. So yeah, it's got a lot of weak points going on, where should be standard from Mcfarlane. Should have been a lot better, but yeah, they're just really terrible at making Batmen. Not great. I think they messed up the Batman Forever figure, and the Batman Returns was a bit or better, but the cape still was pretty bad on it. The head sculpt was alright, although some people said it didn't look much like Michael Keaton. Yeah, they shouldn't make Batman anymore, Mark Farland, because they keep messing it up unless they're going to redo them and make them better. But yeah, it's not the greatest. Moving on. Now this is I think this is like a Chinese or something version, because I got this on eBay a long while ago, and it was only £10. This was when I was starting collecting, and I just didn't want to pay a lot for a Batman, and I just got a £10 one. And it didn't seem like a bad Batman at the time. It's kind of like the really, really old Batman figure from like the 1990s. I remember when I was a kid, I had the Batman from the first Batman they made from the movie way back in 89, 1990. I think I was about 5 or 6 years old. And this is kind of like that old, if you're as old as me, you remember that old Batman. And the belt could come out, there was a cable attached to it, and you could take it, pull it out, and attach it to the grappling hook gun, and it would feel like he was he was going up it. Yeah, if you remember back in the day, many moons ago. Time flies. But yeah, as I said, it's not a bad Batman. Obviously, it's not the best up to the standards of like Beast Kingdom and some of the others, but it's all right. And as I said, for £10 when I got it, it didn't seem that bad. The head sculpt, the head sculpt's not that great, but it seemed okay for the price. The bat symbol is not that bad actually. To be honest, it's not messy or anything like that. It's right. The cape is, a bit rubbish in terms of it sort of gets a lot of bits of fluff stuck to it, which ain't the best type of cape material. But if you like the retro style, then this is quite a nice Batman. The definition on the body is not that bad, and this has got quite good articulation, to be fair. It's got joints in the legs, it's got joints in the elbows, and you can move it around. And it's another good thing about this Batman is it's got the double joint on the chest area, which means if you want to you can have him leaning over and get him into different positions. So the articulation is all right on this actually. And it's all right, I think. I don't think it's all right. It's not the best Batman, but I don't think it's the worst. And it's just all right. It has a few good things about it, to be honest. As I said, the articulation and the suit doesn't look too bad. The belt is yellow, which I think does look better on the Batman 89. So yeah, it's not that bad. Now going on to the Neca Batman, which has just recently come out, and you would expect from Neca standard, it's a pretty decent Batman. Is it perfect? It's debatable. I don't know. Maybe there could be a few things I could have done better, but when I looked it up, in terms of what they were trying to do, it was a decent effort. It was supposed to be, I don't know if it's supposed to be a fully cloth figure or part. Well, it's definitely part cloth, part plastic figure. And from what I read about it, they couldn't do a full clothed figure because it just wouldn't have worked. The mask cowl, for example, if they'd have done that in cloth, it would have been baggy So they had to do it plastic for it to have the sharp ears on it. You know, it just wouldn't have worked basically with cloth material. Same thing for the body uh, or the body armor. If they'd done that cloth, yeah, again, sharp areas wouldn't it just wouldn't have worked. The boots again, if they'd have done that cloth, you know, it just would have been it would have been baggy, and you know they wouldn't have achieved the sharpness parts of the boots. So yeah, in terms of how they were doing it, it kind of worked out all right because you know parts of the suit being cloth and part of it being plastic, you know, that's as good as how they could have done it really. As I said, if they'd done the mask, it just would have been baggy and it just would have looked awful. It probably would have turned out a lot worse than this. So for the effort, being part plastic, part cloth, they actually done quite a good job to be fair. And the cape is very, very nice on it. We'll go to the head. The head is pretty decent. It's a very, very good head sculpt. Nicely painted, nicely detailed. You can just see the eyes there. As far as goes, Michael Keaton, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell, you know, with obviously his mask on. I think if they'd have given us, I think what they could have given us is is a Michael Keaton head sculpt where you actually could see that it was Michael Keaton, right, without the mask on, like they did with sort of Catwoman, although it's not fully Michelle Pfeiffer, but you can clearly see with the other head sculpt it's Michelle Pfeiffer. I think they should have done the same thing with this figure. They should have given us a Michael Keaton head sculpt with the mask off, so you could actually see that it was Michael Keaton. Like this, you can't really see just from the mouth. Can't really see it Michael Keaton, to be honest. Just from that mouth alone, I don't feel. I think it's just you can see the actual face coming through, but the mask is pretty nice. The cow looks okay. Although the bat symbol I don't think is the best. It kind of looks just slightly a bit messy. It just kind of looks like it's not painted all the way. It just kind of you can see the yellow on the wing. You can see that coming sort of through there. Sorry, it's not gone out of focus. But you can see a bit on the wing that it's not fully painted there, so the symbol's not that great. The cape is very, very good. It's nice and long, very long that it should be. You can wrap it around the figure, you can shape it out, so sort of that's parts of the movie when he's sort of gliding and using it as a glider to go off buildings. You can stretch it out. Yeah, so the cape is really good. It's kind of cloth part. The inside of the cape is sort of like a cloth type material. The outside of it's like a PVC material, which is, yeah, and it's a really, really nice, decent cape. As I said, you can put it wrap it around the figure, you know, like he does in the movie where it sort of goes around his body. As I said, you can stretch it out. Very, very good cape. The body is very, very good. Good definition, which it should be in the movie, sort of like kind of like body armor. The belt is questionable. You can adjust it, but it's kind of really, really tight on there. It's kind of so tight that even when you try and adjust it, it just looks like it's really tightly on there, which I've not been happy about that since I sort of got it. It's sort of so tight, sort of like squashing his waist inside. It's sort of, yeah, it's really tight around his waist. It's sort of like squashing it, so it's sort of squashing inwards. Should have been a bit more looser at least. As I said, I'm trying to adjust it, and it's sort of, yeah. So I've not been happy about that. So that's another issue with that. But the parts of the figure where it is cloth material, you can feel that it's actually like a sort of PVC leather type material, like it is, you know, in a real thing like a suit, which is quite nice. The boots are okay. As I said, those parts being plastic, because, you know, obviously it wouldn't have worked with it being PVC. So yeah, as I said, Neca, they did half decent job, but you know, isn't perfect, unfortunately. As I said, you know, could have done with another head sculpt, actually seeing more that it's Michael Keaton. The bat symbol could have been better painted. The bell is not that greatly done. Needed to be done a bit better. Accessories okay. You only get 2 weapons, but it's all right. So yeah, you know, I was expecting a lot more from this figure because I really wanted to get this figure because I never had a Neca one before, and yeah, it's slightly disappointing, but it's still pretty decent. It does look okay when you've got the cape wrapped around it and having it on display. Trying to cover up as much as the belt as you can. It looks all right on display. It's only really when you start sort of like messing around with it and doing a close inspection you notice the mistakes. But yeah, it's all right, but not perfect. And then last but not least is probably my favourite, and maybe still my favourite, is the Beast Kingdom Batman. And when I got it, yeah, I absolutely loved it. And considering that the Neca has got a few issues, I think that the Beast Kingdom could possibly be the best one. But we'll just do the final, uh, you know, what I think's best one in a minute after we talk about this. But yeah, this is a very, very good Batman, and I was really happy about getting this. I managed to get a good deal on this on eBay. I think I paid like, I don't know if it's like 70 or 60 for this. I got it second hand on eBay, but it was a really good deal. It wasn't retail that I paid. And I was really happy with the purchase. As I said, I thought it was a very, very good Batman. I really liked it. There's really nice accessories with it. And it displays real. It stands up okay. There's never been any issues with it standing up. It has fell over a few times, but that not being the figure's fault. That's either when I've knocked it over or another figure's fell over and then not, another figure's fell over and then knocked that over. But standing on its own, it's pretty solid. It's got a good pair of legs on it. And the head sculpt is pretty nice. Again, similar to the Neca one, you can't really see that it is Michael Keaton there. But I quite, this, even though you can't see it's Michael Keaton, I think it's a nice, decent head sculpt. It's nicely painted. I mean, to be honest, my camera phone is not the best. And it doesn't really do some of these figures justice because, my lighting is more often than not quite bad on a lot of videos, and it doesn't do some of the figures justice because they look way better in hand than my rubbish camera. But yeah, the head sculpt is alright. It's nicely painted. You can see the eyes there. The cowl looks alright. It does come a bit loose, but you can sort of readjust it so it fits in line with the bat symbol. The bat symbol looks really, really nice. It's nice and sharp. And looks nicely painted. The cape is very, very nice. You can stretch it out, wrap it around the figure. It's very nice. It could have done with a couple of inches longer because the Neca one is really, really long, goes right down to the bottoms of the feet. And I think that maybe just runs a bit short, but it's still a good cape. It's nice PVC type material so that it stretches out and wraps around the figure. The body is really good. I like the definition on it. It's a nice paint job. It's got a nice sort of black metallic shine to it, which is quite nice. The belt is yellow, which I like. As I said, I think that's how it is in the movie, more yellow than it is gold. So that's kind of nice. And as I said, the accessory is really good. The articulation is very, very good on it. Really good. And yeah, I think it's a very, very solid Batman. Yeah. And so, now we're going to rule out immediately the retro sort of style Batman because, yeah, the just pure fact that this, as I said, it's got a few things going for it and it is quite good, but it's just not in terms of the quality. It doesn't just just doesn't do it in terms of the other quality of the others. So that's eliminated. The one with the head sculpt is quite a terrible Batman, so that's not in it. My one with the bad leg is also not in it, not because of the fact it's got a bad leg, but yeah, it just, for me, the likeness in the head sculpt's a bit weak. Mcfarlane is certainly not the best Batman because it's got the head sculpt is wrong and the cape is bad. So I think that's down to 3. So one with the head sculpt, the one with the mask off is eliminated. The other one is eliminated because it's not very good likeness to Keaton. Mcfarlane is eliminated because the head sculpt is wrong, retro style. So that's down to 3. And would you believe the smallest one is still in the running? And unfortunately, we are going to eliminate the 5 points one because being not that it's not good, but the articulation obviously just isn't there, and maybe just the likeness isn't there, but it's still pretty good Batman. It's beat some of the others. So we are down to the Neca one and the Beast Kingdom one, which I think is the 2 best ones compared to the others. Yeah, they just seem like the 2 best. And now the one that's I'm going with the Beast Kingdom one, because I just think okay, maybe the head sculpt on the Neca one is the better out of the 2 in terms of more lightness. I feel the symbol on the Beast Kingdom one is way better. Neca one is just, it just seems a bit messy. I think the cape is quite close. Beast Kingdom and Neca's capes are very good. Very good in terms of like they're long. The material is good. As I said, it stretches out, can wrap it around the figure. So that's quite close. The body, both got quite good, decent bodies on them. I don't actually got the best chest on these 2 actually. Very close. It may be the Neca, but if the Neca one's not accurate, then definitely the Beast Kingdom. The belt, 100%. The one on Beast Kingdom is way better. It just looks more accurate. It's not the Neca belt is terrible. It's too tight on the figure, and yeah, so hands down, the Beast Kingdom better. In terms of the overall suit, I will go with the Neca because it's nice to have a figure that's sort of, you can actually feel that it's cloth material rather than it being plastic. So I do like that idea of that. The boots, maybe actually the Beast Kingdom, maybe the better boots. But yeah, my pick was Beast Kingdom before, and with the mistakes that the Neca one has, it remains the Beast Kingdom. I think the Beast Kingdom is the best one. Yeah, I think the Beast, my opinion, the Beast Kingdom's best. I think it's that superb Batman, and it's only when you do the comparison with all 7 figures, you do the comparison, you realise this is better. When you do the comparison, it's the best Batman. The Beast Kingdom '89 for me. So guys, yeah, we got through it. A very long video, but I hope we've got through that. I had to do it like this because if we'd have jumped paint job, detail, and back and forth, it would have been taken even longer, because we have to keep going backwards and forwards. But I thought doing it one after the other would be really good. And yeah, my opinion is the Beast Kingdom one. So guys, you can decide what one you think's best, whether you agree with me whether you have a particular favourite, what you think is a better Batman. And yeah, so guys, that's going to be it after a long video. I hope it's not too long for you. If it is, feel free to skip some bits if it's too long for you. But if you want to enjoy a cool video and listen to me talking, if you want to grab a drink, some snacks, and just listen to the video, chill out and relax, feel free, or watch a bit now and a bit later. But yeah, that's going to be it for this, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos. I'll see you guys later on. Take care, bye for now. See you soon. Thanks for watching.